Cool, done.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of and Fracas, powered by Touchline Media Group. I'm your host, the Mr. Despondent Krish, and today I am joined by Fahi, Julian, and Anik to talk about all things LFC. Before we kind of get into the debacle that we witnessed last night, just a few housekeeping notes we have to get out of the way before we start. If you're listening to us right now, you're probably listening to us on YouTube. So go ahead and hit subscribe and like this video. And if you want to, leave a nice little comment for us because we like it when you say nice things about us as well. And be sure to check out all of the content we have for all the different club pods and the main pod too on the Touchline Fracas YouTube page. Of course, we have our own Patreon. If you didn't know by now, I don't know where you've been. But if you head over to www.patreon.com/and you can subscribe to all of our fantastic content that we have. And we've got so much good stuff planned out for the first period of 2021. We had a little bit of a meeting yesterday where we were planning stuff out, so we got fairly excited about that. That was the only exciting thing that happened last night, but because God knows the match wasn't good. So for as little as £3 a month, you can subscribe to all the fantastic content we've got available at the moment and the stuff we have upcoming. Again, that is www.patreon.com/and And of course, this week's episode of and Fracas is proudly brought to you in association with our partners over Fanslide. What on earth is Fanslide, you might be asking? Well, Fanslide is the world's first live and in-play fantasy football game. You can play against your friends, us here at Copend, and the rest of the Touchline Fracas network for free. And of course, you can be in with a chance of winning cash prizes. That's right, cash prizes on select games. Fahi, me and you have been on this for what, the better part of 3 weeks now. I had an awful experience this weekend trying to figure out the bloody Chelsea-Man City game. I should have listened to my own gut instincts about Timo Werner. I had him in when he injured himself, kicking his leg. So that was pretty much the summing up of my experience on Fanslide. It's so good. You have to strategize even more when you do FPL. How did you get on this weekend?
So the Villa United game, I was 4 points away from winning some money. I was gutted, like, so close. It's the highest score I've had yet. So now I'm like top 50 in the UK. So whoever joins in and starts playing on Fanslide, join in with me. The Chelsea-Man City game, I completely flopped it because I thought Chelsea would actually do something. So the start of the game, I went with Chelsea players. I went with the Chelsea defence to try and get my clean sheets. And then they conceded straight away. So it was kind of game over from there. And every time I wanted to put a City player in, they would score just beforehand. So it was like, for fuck's sake. So I completely messed that one up. But the United Villa game, I really got into my mojo and I was so close to winning some money. So, I'm going to continue this week. I think there's some cup games that they're going to be doing some games on. So, I'll be joining it.
No, awesome stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely be on there for the cup games and everything going forward. So, I mean, so you're joining on the fun today. Search Fanslide in the App Store and download the app today. So, Fanslide, don't just watch the game, play the game. Gentlemen, we were on the end of a pretty morale-sapping defeat last night. We lost 1-0 away at Southampton. You can tell how much that result meant to Ralph Hasenhüttl as he dropped to his knees and sobbed like he was released from some form of prison, Shawshank, if you will. At the end of that game, it was insanity. Julian, I'm going to come to you first on this one. I mean, we looked at the team sheet at the beginning of the game. Two central midfielders playing the centre-back positions. And to some people's credit in the group, they thought, you know what, not bad. I can see what's going on.
God knows why.
But good Lord, did we need a bloody centre-back there last night.
I'm lost for words. Yesterday I was distraught, angry. I was beefing, man, in the Discord until about 1 a.m. in the morning. Fighting.
You were beefing bots. You were beefing robots.
I was fighting bots. My bot was telling me that my market value went up, and I was just, my head was just hot, saying, "You what?" Just trying to fight, guys. Went into the Muga chat. Fuck Muga. I'm joking, but fuck Man United. Went into that chat, was trying to find guys to beef, trying to be like, "Oh yeah, tell us that you're in the title race." I'm upset, man. I'm that the intro is said. I'm upset. I'm actually upset. Like how we managed to have such a bad game, and how we've managed to to fall into this type of form is just upsetting. Like Henderson and Fabinho at centre back. Words cannot describe what I would call the arrogance from Liverpool to believe that they could go into a Premier League game deep into the season in a must-win and put Henderson at centre back.
Yeah, but we don't need a centre back, apparently, Julian. We don't need a centre back.
Centre back is not the issue. I'm saying,
shut up, man.
Centre back is not the issue. We can get into this right now.
Why are you doing this live on YouTube? Why?
One goal in 3 games. That's not good enough. There's more problems here.
My head is
centre back.
Anik, have you ever I'm going to specifically come back to you on this because I can see Fahi visibly wanting to come through the computer screen and strangle Anik at this point. Have you ever played the game Kaplunk?
I think I have a long time ago.
When you pull out the sticks and you wait to see who it all falls apart. Ever since both centre backs have gone down with injuries, we've essentially been playing Kaplunk with this team. We've been pulling strings, and eventually it's all going to fall apart. And the domino effect fully came in last night. It's so visible from the past 2 games as well.
Look, I can see where you're coming from on that point. Like, we don't have the 2 centre backs, but we just got to play with the hand that we've been dealt. They're both out, so we just need to work with what we got. And how we're working with what we have is not good enough. He shouldn't be playing a centre back. He shouldn't be playing a midfielder at centre back. And it should be up to the other guys to get goals. Goals win games, and we're not scoring goals at all. I don't even see where they're coming from. We could have played for 90 hours yesterday as opposed to 90 minutes, and we ain't scoring.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt, but you can't. Yeah, I get that we're not scoring goals, but fucking hell, like the confidence between the team. You watch Liverpool. Like, you know how much our centre-backs are crucial to even our build-up play. Every position is just so crucial in terms of how we play, the confidence that... Do you honestly think Trent and... Maybe they do, but do you honestly think Trent and Robert have a game like yesterday, even though Robert wasn't so bad, with Gomez and Van Dijk at the back, giving them the freedom of, okay, you can run forward without having to trace back? Like, it's pathetic. Like, it's actually pathetic. We can get onto the front 3 and obviously how they haven't scored. But let's be honest, even with our centre-backs, and even if we wasn't in bad form, those 3 guys were starting, and who knows if they have the game like yesterday. But fucking hell, like, we were pathetic. I've not been this distraught about a game since... I didn't even feel this bad since Aston Villa, I can't lie to you. Like, we are pathetic.
I didn't feel that bad.
Pathetic. That didn't feel that bad. That was kind of we just got beaten up. But what I saw yesterday was actually heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. We couldn't finish our chances. We looked lethargic. Thiago, I've only seen him for 4 games, and even that it amounts to about 3 because one was one half and one was another. Like, we look finished. Like, I don't know. Why you speak, man?
Bruv, listen, I want to ask Anik a few questions. Yeah. All right. So you like the coward that you are, you will always take the blame away from the actual situation, and you will be like, but we're not scoring goals. So, big man, tell me right now, what would you do with this 11? Please, name your lineup. Yeah, name your lineup and explain to me, based on what you've seen in the past 3 games. We've only scored 1 goal in 3 games. Cool. What would you do? What would you change?
Okay, you're putting me on the spot here. Oh, you're spotlighting me as well.
100%. Spotlight is on Anik.
All right, okay. So what I would do is I would have started, obviously, Alisson at back, in goal, Trent right back, centre back. I would have been Reece Williams, because I don't think he's done much wrong or that much not to warrant a place in the team. Alongside him, Fabinho and Robertson. Then I would have put 2-4-2. I would have started 4-2-3-1. Okay, so the 2 in midfield, it would have been Thiago and it would have been Wanyao. It would have been Thiago and it would have been Henderson. And then the 3 would have been Mane, Salah, and Minamino, and in behind Bobby. But hear me out on this before you jump at me and say, we're going to be so toothless in the middle. My whole argument is that the front 3 are just so static. In our past 3 games, Salah is just siloed in his position on the right wing. Bobby's siloed in his position in the centre. Mane's siloed in his position on the left. My whole argument is to like mix it up and do something a bit more different with the front 3. Like they can interchange positions. Like, you know, you can move around. You can start doing things. Like it was so frustrating to see them just pigeonholed into their areas and doing that.
Cool, I get that. That's fair enough.
You can look at like. I mean, it's a good point you made, because like if you look at for me, our best 3 performances this season have been Leicester at home, Atalanta away, and Crystal Palace away. And in those 3 games, we didn't start the front 3 in their conventional positions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I'm not saying that we should all of a sudden start mixing up the front 3 and changing it. I'm just saying once in a while, it's worthwhile to try mixing it up and see what can happen. Like we've played the same front 3 the past 3 games and nothing's happening. Like the defense really haven't put a foot wrong. Let's be honest. Like,
you're still playing the same players. They're not going anywhere. So what you're just saying? So for the past 3 games, they've done nothing. So you're going to play them for the 4th game because they've done nothing in the past 3 games.
No, I'm saying that you can mix it up. You don't have to play them 3 of them up front in their defined positions.
Your 4-2-3-1 would have made sense if you were saying, all right, Salah instead of right wing, you're going to play up front now. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then, but you can mix it up. You can mix it up.
I don't know, man. No, man. End of the day, you don't win titles with no centre backs. That's it.
Okay, and I fully agree with that. But so
that's it. Surely that's the end of the argument. I don't understand. If you have a choice right now in January to make a signing, you already know we're tight with cash. You know we're not going to make loads of signings. If you could do something to improve this team right now, what would you do? Bear in mind, we're defending a title. In the 25 years of football you have watched, you have never seen a team win the league with no centre-backs in their defence. What would you do?
I would get the centre back. I agree with you.
Thank you.
No. I'm agreeing with you. We need a centre back. But tell me right now, are you happy with the goal return that we have?
I'm not happy with anything.
and you're telling me, okay, all right. No, that's fine. We're going to get a centre back. What's a centre back going to do? He's going to ping it long to Salah's foot all of a sudden.
So if we get a centre back in, and Matip will be back within a week, another 2 weeks, then that allows you to play Fabinho in midfield. You and then essentially kind of reverse the domino effect for whatever period of time it is. Solving centre back solves so many issues, because we know that a lot of the issues, and we were screaming it yesterday. We miss Fabinho in midfield so much, and we don't have that option to drop him in as number 6 to allow the other players to do what they do. And we know that Ginny and Hendo, they do serviceable jobs as number 6s, but we know they're so much better being progressively played further up in the pitch. But I will let you go on, Anik.
Okay, so even yesterday, like if we have a centre back, all I'm hearing is, the build-up play will be better. Yeah. Second half yesterday, we were camped out in their half. We didn't need to build up the play okay, but we were there. We were literally we were just chilling outside the edge of the 18-yard box. We needed something or someone to unlock the defense, try a quick little 1-2, a moment of magic.
Okay, that's so we had Thiago, we had Shaqiri. They still didn't do it, which tells you that's not the problem. Okay, that is not the problem.
Okay.
When you bring the ball out from the back, you need to be able to know what's going to happen next. Our forward line currently don't have a Scooby what's going to happen, because Trent and Robertson are scared to bomb forward. They don't bomb forward like they used to do, and it's causing all these problems, which is now leading to Trent misplacing every fucking pass because he just lofts it in the air to fucking no one.
But he's still managing to get. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I can agree with you to a point there.
Misplaced passes. That's what happened yesterday. And the reason that happened is because our forward line can't make any runs because they can only expect the ball from Trent, Robertson, or Thiago. That's it. Usually Henderson would do something down the middle. He couldn't do that because he was playing on the right side of centre back.
And also with Henderson playing at centre back, when Henderson playing at centre back, when Trent makes those runs, he's covering for him. So with Henderson not being there to cover for him, Trent is obviously going to be halfway up the pitch.
But we had other midfielders that could drop in and cover for him. The ball still got out to Trent. The ball still got out to Robertson. We both saw that yesterday. The ball was still getting out to them. They're still spamming in the crosses.
Bruv, it's not the same though, is it? Like
I know it's not the same because they're not that further up the field.
That's what I mean. It's completely different. They're hitting hopes now. And that's why Trent got the shit numbers that he got yesterday and he is getting flogged because he is now playing in a position that he's not used to playing. He's actually having to play as a right back. He's not used to playing as a right back. And this is why he's getting found out. That's the reality of it.
He was poor for the goal, though. I can't lie. For the goal, he should have done better.
What was he doing?
That was shit.
That was shocking.
That was shit. He should have done better.
What did he think was going to happen? Was he leaving it out to go out or something? I don't really understand.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think we're so disjointed that it's really affecting even the way we play. Like you can just tell, like cool, missing out on Van Dijk and Gomez is one thing, but the fact that we're playing two centre mids at centre back, like you can just tell that the confidence that they even have as a midfield to push forward like they usually do is not there. You can tell as fullbacks pushing forward, it's not there. Like there's so many more things to think about to their usual game compared to when we actually do have some centre backs there, or even when one centre back is there. Like the arrogance from Klopp to play Henderson at centre back is a madness, and we're probably going to get into it. But fam, the way people are talking in the group chat, good team, we can still get a result with Henderson at centre back. It's arrogance from Klopp, arrogance from our fans as well, man. Like we really need to address it because it's getting so bad to the point that we think because we've done well over the last 2 years, we played amazing football, got an amazing point tally that we can just play whoever anywhere and just expect a result. Like football doesn't work like that. We're not that good. Like we're not that good to be tinkering around with the squad for large majority parts of the season and expect to win the league. Like, come on, man, it's disgraceful, fam. It's disgusting. I hate it. Absolutely.
Listen. You can lose games, yeah. In a game of football, you're not going to win every single one. Last season, yes, you killed it. That's absolutely fair. Fair enough. This season, based on the circumstances and what was going on, it was obvious that we were not going to get the same points tally as we did last season. We were all expecting defeats, yeah? Defeats are absolutely fine. Draws are fine. But it's the manner of these defeats and draws that are pissing me off. The lack of urgency in the team is pissing me off. The fucking attitude of the players right now, what I'm seeing is pissing me off. I'm seeing no urgency. What was going on yesterday? We conceded in the second minute. We had 88 minutes plus stoppage time to get an equaliser. Did you see any urgency in the team other than the first 25 minutes?
There was a 5 to 10 minute spell, and I think it probably was kind of directly after the goal, where we played with a bit more urgency, and you can definitely see where it gave Southampton the problems. And then that never came back at all.
And also, let me clarify: the centre back, us playing Henderson at centre back isn't why we lost. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's why we lost. It's part of the reason why we lost. And the fact that, and what's pissed me off about it is the fact that we genuinely think that we can go into games, Premier League games, against informed Southampton and think we can win games like Henderson Centre. But we're going to get into Mane and Salah, but Mane, Salah, our front three basically. But I'm just saying, like, we can't go into games with Henderson at centre back. That's just not feasible.
Bro, he is not comfortable there. Why are you going to play him there if he's not comfortable?
It just doesn't make sense to me why he's playing him centre back. I mean, I don't know. Is there any? There must be an argument for though. That like there must be a reason why Klopp has.
He expects to have the dog share of possession, and I guess he wanted an outlet ball from the back. That's literally it. Apart from that, there's no other option to do. You just play Reece Williams. And it's
criminal.
It's stupid. It's a stupid decision because you just give the uncertainty to so many other people on the pitch. Like, how much did we miss? Not even Fabinho in midfield yesterday. How much did we miss Hendo from midfield yesterday? And granted, he has been shit for the past 2 games, but that midfield would have been remarkably better because Oxlade-Chamberlain was absolutely diabolical. And that's kind of through no fault of his own as well.
Listen, I don't know who that guy. I don't know whose man that is. But yo, I cashed in 2018. Yeah, I knew after that moment it wasn't going to be the same again. Certain man need to go, man. I know I have to filter what I'm saying, but certain people in that squad need to go. They're just not
Yeah.
on it. They're not levels. They are not levels.
I mean,
we are above where they were when they came.
It's amazing how I had a tweet that is now at least 5 weeks old that said that at this point with Matip, Shaqiri, and Keita, why are they even here at this point?
Honestly,
Look at that stat. Daniel Taiwo is saying Southampton hadn't scored in 3 games.
No, they've been shit. They've not been that good.
Bro, they were so bad. Their manager cried after the final whistle. Like, he was that surprised that he won. He fell to his knees in tears.
He wasn't the only one in tears.
I was
my life, man.
fucking hell.
You know what irritates me? What irritates me the most is our fan base just do not want to call out what the issue is sometimes. Sometimes it is okay to say the manager got it wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I love Klopp. I love him to bits. Like, he's the best manager in the league, in my opinion. Best manager in the world, in my opinion. But fam, there are some times he gets things wrong. Like, I don't know. I don't see like why this. I feel like with our fan base as well, there's this blind faith in Liverpool and what we do, and we just expect to just roll over and just and accept everything that Klopp does because he's given us, obviously, thankful, a Champions League and a Premier League. Like, he's going to get things wrong. Playing Henderson at centre back was a stupid thing to do, very stupid and arrogant thing to do. Like, I can't understand why it's so hard for our fans to comprehend that. Obviously, it was. I'm not going to say it was the 100% one reason why we lost, and it is part of it. And we're obviously going to get onto the front three, but it's arrogance, absolute.
This is the thing.
Stupidity and arrogance from our fan base to believe that we're good. Go on.
This is the thing. This is the thing, because there's certain sections of the fan base that, I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there, Julian, to be honest with you. There's certain sections of the fan base that don't want to put any accountability on everything. It's all someone else's fault. Like the officiating was dog shit yesterday, but it wasn't the key reason why we lost. It's because we were shit. No. We were arguably worse than the officiating yesterday. And then you got certain fan base saying, "Oh, if it wasn't for the VAR calls and the refereeing yesterday, we'd have won." No, we wouldn't. We could have been in there until when we fucking kept arguing until like 2:30 in the morning, and we still probably wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
No. The Newcastle game, I can kind of sympathise with them because they kept knocking at the door. But it just didn't. The ball just didn't want to cross the line at the end of the day. And you have days like that. Days like last night are completely diabolical, and it's not acceptable. That is not of the standard that we have come to expect from this Liverpool team. That's something that you see from the Hodgson team of 10 years ago. It's mad.
Like, it's really not. Like, I don't understand. Against Newcastle, I was pissed off, but then I was pissed off at one person. That was really Salah because he should have been netting. But even then, Mane should be the one that gets us over the line when Salah's not performing that well. Firmino, I don't know what to expect from him, but at this point, I'm really, really tired of just saying the guy's name and blame. I'm not blaming him, but putting him down to why we're not scoring enough goals in our front three. But my God, like, yesterday was just bad. Like, so it was to the point where Robertson, the normal link up between the two, our fullbacks, Robertson and Mane on the left, and Mane, Salah and Trent on the right, just look horrible. Like, it was so horrible to watch. Like, I haven't seen us perform that bad in a while, and it's painful. Like, painful. It was actually, and we lost 7-2 to Aston Villa, and to be honest, I don't even think we were that bad in that game. As crazy as it sounds, we wasn't that bad. We weren't. Fucking hell, yesterday was heartbreaking, and the fact that we're letting these Man United pussies get back into the tower is pissing me off even more. I hate it.
I just need to say what in this. I know we're going to move on from the centre back issue, yeah, and cool. We've agreed that that's not solely the reason why we lost yesterday. That's absolutely fine. Ultimately, we do need to improve on that. But I will ask the question again because I still think some people, for some reason, are in denial that the gaffer got it wrong yesterday. If Reece Williams was good enough to play against the best forward line in the league this season of Kane and Son, why was he not good enough to play against Danny Ings and Theo Walcott, who had not scored in the last 3 games?
The only argument I'll have for Reece Williams not playing yesterday and playing in those games is that we was at home. That's literally it. He was in a more comfortable setting. and that's about it. But apart from that, I don't care. Like and the thing is, we love to get on to, as a Premier League, we love to get onto Pep for doing things like playing Fernandinho at centre back when he has young talent there. Why are we doing the same for Klopp? Why is he not trusting his young centre back to play a full 90 minutes away from home? I don't get that. Like you play two centre backs, 2 centimeters at centre back, in the Premier League.
I think they must have done something where they looked at the press from Southampton, because it was a very aggressive press throughout the first 60 minutes of the game.
Oh yeah, they were great. Yeah.
They really good. Right, they got the early goal. They got the early goal and they went, job's done. We're fine.
Yeah, and that's why from the start of the second half, we basically had control of the game, but we just didn't have that killer edge or cutting execution, which ultimately led to our downfall. I think, to be honest, that there's nothing in Theo Walcott or Danny Ings that makes the manager choose Henderson over Williams or Nat Phillips. But okay, it can be the press, but I just don't see why you would choose Henderson over those two. Like, they really haven't done that much wrong. All
right, no. One of them shouldn't be playing at all. But Reece Williams could have played that game.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Reece Williams could have easily played in that game.
And you know what? To be honest, I know our Liverpool fans can be dickheads sometimes, but I genuinely think if Reece Williams had a bad game yesterday, like the corn wouldn't be to the point where we would kill the kid, because I would hope we would understand that we're in dire straits at the moment. But fucking hell, man, Henderson and Fabinho at centre back, 2 centre mids, your 2 prime centre mids at centre back with Thiago in the 6. Like, oh man, like it's a joke, fam. Absolute disgrace that happened yesterday.
Mark is saying on the screen, Williams got exposed versus West Brom in the short time he played. So he came onto the pitch for 25 minutes, and there was one opportunity for the West Brom forward to go at him, and he went at him. Okay, and what? Okay, it happens sometimes. Fabinho got exposed the other day as well, and he got fucking run ragged by someone. I can't remember which game it was. So what is that a reason for him?
Yesterday, he was like, did you see him yesterday where he had that one chance and he just dropped on his arse and he was like, whatever happens, inshallah.
This is what, these stupid excuses people use for the reason players don't play actually pisses me off, man. Honestly, it really irritates me.
Yeah, it annoys me as well, because they'll be like, well, you don't believe in Klopp's tactics. He won us a league and he won us a Premier League, and you don't think we're top of the league.
We obviously believe in Klopp. Like, that's not the issue. But listen, Julian, when you go to work 200 plus days a year, you're not going to get everything right, are you? You're going to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah, and it's right to call it out.
Well, that's it.
It's mental. Like, oh man, like it's nuts. Like, people going like, like, of course we get gassed over. We get gassed, and we'll joke about us. We'll get gassed over us, like, you know, being in where we are with the amount of injuries that we had. But it doesn't fault the fact that, one, it was great negligence from our board to not get a full centre back after selling Lovren, and the comments are putting me off as well. And it was great negligence not getting a full centre back, and to not even play Reece, a centre back by trade along with Fabinho, and put Henderson there. I'm sorry, but to me, it's arrogance, and there's one thing to be arrogant. There's arrogance from Klopp, but from the fans to even come and try to defend that is arrogance within itself. So I'm not having it, man. I'm actually not having it.
So we've got another comment. Gide is saying Ings would wash Williams. Phillips defo better right now, but he's so slow. Fair enough, but I didn't see Kane or Son do anything to Williams. I've seen Williams play well against Ajax away, Atalanta as well. Like, he has had good performances against decent opposition. I still think we could trust him against Southampton. Like, it's not that deep.
He definitely should have played yesterday. There's no doubt about it. Having Williams at centre back with Hendo in the middle would have been so much more effective for us, as opposed to having Henderson at centre back with that midfield, because that midfield, there was just no cohesion there. And I'm sure we're going to get onto that, because I think Thiago was at the base, and then it was Ox and Wijnaldum ahead of him. Like, that just.
I don't know what Ox was doing shuttle run.
I don't know what he was doing.
Ox,
he was there for vibes, man. I don't know what he was doing.
And even then, with what you just said with Reece Williams, Henderson will cover for Reece Williams. He'll be there to shout instructions to him and keep his head in the game. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand the desire to just defend stupidity. Like that's playing what it was yesterday. Stupidity from Klopp to play 2 centre mids at centre back. I keep saying it because sometimes I want to wake up and it's not true. Like 2 centre mids at centre back away in the Premier League, not in the Carling Cup or the Carabao Cup, whatever the fuck they call it. The Premier League.
So Julian, do you think, like, take the pessimism aside, take your usual pessimism aside, do you think we're going to sign someone in January? Because I'm pretty certain we will. I'm pretty certain we're going to sign a centre back. How do you feel?
I'm certain we will. Like I like, this is the thing with me. I'm a pessimist because of the way we move, and the way we move is that we only will go for a player when we want them, and my skepticism comes from the fact that Liverpool love to hold off on buying someone unless they feel like it's the right, in quotation marks, if you can't see what I'm saying, profile of player. And I think that's not an excuse this January. Like, that can't be an excuse saying, okay, we're not going to buy, for example, a Konate or God knows who else they're looking for because he's not able to ping the ball and he's not under 25 years old and he doesn't fit the profile where we can sell him off for a profit. Like, I don't want that. Like, get a centre back. That's a centre back by trade. He's even supposed to be our 4th choice centre back when our team is fully fit. Like,
exactly.
Just get that.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
We still need a replacement for Lovren anyway.
That it's not hard. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not in because people come and tell me, "Well, you don't work for Liverpool, and we don't want this guy, and we don't want this." But it's not hard to get a centre back that can head the ball, be an aerial threat to the attackers. That's able to just be steady, give us about 20 to 30 games left of the season, and then when Van Dijk and Gomez come back, be like, "All right, cool, you done your job. Come to Liverpool and win some titles." But no, I'm telling you, Liverpool fans will listen to this and be like, "Wow, you just don't believe in the club." But it's fucking stupid and negligent and arrogant for us to not even have a full choice centre back, senior centre back, that is.
And my question is, Krish, I'm going to come to you really quickly. I'm not trying to host, by the way, but it's just
hold on. Fahi, you asked Julian the question. You never asked me the question.
Because you think we're going to sign a centre back, so it's all right. I know you think that.
Yeah, but it's not going to address the underlying issues, though.
We'll get to that. Don't worry.
We'll get to that. But we'll sign the centre back, but it's not going to address we still won't get goals if we get a centre back. Next, please.
Krish, with the 4th choice, do you think we didn't sign a 4th choice centre back because we really had higher hopes with Billy Kometio? Do you think that was the reason, or do you just think it was just negligence?
If they want to spin the usual bullshit, there was high hopes for fucking Danny Ward at one point, and then Alisson was brought in a week later. I think look, they definitely tried to get someone in. It's blatantly obvious they did their research. You had all the stuff about Diego Carlos, Kabak, and others. It's probably just a financial issue. The only reason that we brought in guys like Jota and Thiago in the first place is that we managed to agree structures with the payments.
Yeah.
And look, we did. I've talked to Chris Williams about it. We definitely did try to go in for Kabak, but they wanted 40 million quid. That was never going to happen. So we're never going to pay. We're never going to pay over the odds for a centre back at the time. And look, you can't get your crystal ball out and foresee 3 of your first choice centre backs just absolutely getting bludgeoned to death. But again, it is negligent, and we all said at the time that we should have brought someone in. But again, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and that doesn't make it any easier, really. So, but let's jump on to the issue of the front three, and it is an issue, and it all comes down to just a lack of effectiveness in front of goal. Jude has said the front three were more to blame last night than the defence.
Criminals, war criminals.
I agree with him.
To be honest, I was going to say I agree with Jude, but I can't lie. Using this, Emre Can and Gini were in a 3 away at Brighton years ago is not the same as a back 2 of 2 centre backs and 2 attacking fullbacks. There's a difference between a back 5 where you have that cover and you have also Emre Can who's experienced at playing in the defence, all around the defence at right back and centre back at times when he was at Bayern Munich and I think Bayer Leverkusen. Then there is playing a Fabinho who's fair enough had a good season and Henderson at centre back and then having Thiago at the 6. Like let's not let's not make false equivalences, because that's not it, man. Like, it's really not. But sorry, Krish, carry on.
Got my point there. We were just shit. From free was shit. They were crap. They were awful. I'm trying to pull up the stat right now as well, just to see what our leniency on the left-hand side. So 42% of our attacks came from the left-hand side. I actually think that's a low number because it looked like 80%. Everything was just, we had no kind of guile, joie de vivre with us, where we would like, the way you saw when Thiago came on against Newcastle, everything instantly changed. People were getting forward a lot more. There was an outlet to be played. People were making the effort. There was none of that yesterday. It was literally, okay, cool, dumped off the Robbo, he'll run up a little bit, he'll do some 1-2s to Salah, Mane, and they'll try and find a way to get a ball into the box. When the ball did go into the box, the shot wasn't even on target. It was ballooned over someone's head, and it was going back to bloody fucking Shaqiri, who for some reason was at right midfield. Fahi, I'll come to you. Why is it a case of teams defending really well against us? As you could make the case that Newcastle, Shah and Fernandez, they were sensational. Southampton's shape and structure was really solid last night. Is it more of a case of teams defending well against us, or are we just hammering at the door and just?
All right, let's not get it twisted. Newcastle, the forward line are absolutely fine. They missed their chances, but we created chances, and they were active going forward. They were doing their job apart from putting it into the net. So cool. You can have an off day, that's absolutely fine. But the difference between the performance against Newcastle and the performance against Southampton were two different things. It was like Jekyll and Hyde, man. Like I don't know what is going on right now between those three, but it feels like they're all ops. Every single one of them. Like, I don't see that synchronicity anymore. It's just not there. What's happened? Before, Firmino used to link lovely with Mane. He used to link well with Salah. Salah used to be able to like find Mane in space. You don't even think they're ever going to pass to each other anymore. I think the first time I saw Mane pass to Salah in ages was in the second half yesterday. Other than that, I don't really see those two interlink anymore. Like, it's just not a thing. And I can't work out.
They don't even do that thing where they used to swap wings anymore.
They don't. They just stay in their positions. That's it. They're static. They're static in their areas, and that's all they do now. Firmino makes the most runs, or that's his role. But Mane and Salah, they just it's not the same anymore. Mane's obviously trying. Yesterday, first half, I think he was fucking abysmal, but second half, he upped the levels, and he was running past whoever the right back was. Carl Walker-Peters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was dribbling past him. He was trying to take him on the outside and the inside as well, cutting in. But Salah, bloody hell, yo! I try and defend my brother, but I was struggling after Christmas Day and that picture, and I'm struggling now as well. I don't really. I don't really. Yo, he's stinking up the joint. It feels as if he's got one foot out the door. Obviously, every player can have a bit of bad form, but Salah's performances recently have been fucking diabolical, and again, his attitude to me stinks. Like, if you can read attitude right now through a TV screen, Salah's absolutely stinks. He just seems like he's playing for himself. I don't see any teamwork at all. I don't see it between any of the front three, to be honest. I can say the same for Mane and say the same for Firmino, but Salah's up there right now as like number one criminal. He may have scored the most goals, cool. He's also taken the most pens as well for the team. So that could be part of the reason. But yeah, I don't know how you sort them out.
I've got to say, and I revealed this to you guys in the group chat, but I've actually, since the 17-18 season, I've absolutely despised watching Salah play football. Like, I believe his football is very effective. I'm not going to downplay how good he is and how effective it is, but the individuality that has become apparent since the 18-19 season is starting to piss me off to the max. Like, I would firm it if like everything's hunky-dory, and even then I've had my criticisms of his finishing and his trying to dribble, like do that same goal he scored against Tottenham, where he dribbles around the defense from the right and then just is able to get a shot off and then get it in, which he's been able to do 3-4 times maybe when he tries that chance, but his individuality is starting to get me so frustrated when I watch football. And even when he scored, it's kind of like, right, you owed us this goal. So it's not a thing where I'm like, well done, Salah. You played well and you've been rewarded with a goal. Like, nah, you're in debt, bro. You've been trying to dribble around the defense, shooting, like trying to. And then the thing that annoys me even more is that I feel like he loves to pass it off when he's in danger, when he knows there's no way out, and that's really starting to get me annoyed.
Okay,
like,
so let's try and find out why this is. Do you feel as if it could possibly be linked to Trent's performances as well? Because obviously Trent and Salah used to link very well together. So last season they were brilliant together, and obviously right now Trent is going through quite a bad spell, and he's obviously not bombing forward as much as he used to. That 1-2 that Salah has doesn't exist anymore. Do you think that's part of the reason, or do you think there's more to it?
I definitely don't think that. I personally, yeah, no. You know why? Because I still feel like even when, for example, Trent is bombing down the wing, and this also kind of links to our over-reliance on being a cross and inshallah team. Even when Trent is bombing forward and he's in and around the same areas, Salah will only pass it off to Trent when he's in trouble. And I hate that. I don't like that. That's selfish. That just goes to show that you're trying to palm off the responsibility of getting the goal to another person, so you can go, oh well, I made my pass, so Trent crossed it in, and that came from me, and I don't like that. Like, the difference between 17-18 and Salah after that is that Salah has become much more of an individual player trying to get his kind of goals, whereas 17-18 Salah was kind of on the end of great play, or on the end of, like, you know, making a great one where he's not involved and he's not just passing it off because he's in trouble. That's just me personally.
So I think for me on Salah is that I'm not seeing him do exactly the same stuff that he used to do in 17-18. We used to see him collect the ball, and his first thing was to actually take on a man, sit him down, do a bit of skill, and even just try cracking off a shot. Now, every time he's collecting the ball, he's just always going back into the midfield. He's not trying to move the ball quicker. He's not even trying to look up and make things happen with another teammate. It's just a case of like him. And I think on the point I made earlier, like the front three are just siloed in their positions. I just want to see them mix it up. I want to see them like even pass to each other and just interchange. I think a clear example, I think Mike put it in the Discord chat today, was the goal we scored against Chelsea, where with Firmino and Salah linked up on the edge of the box and they clipped it over to Mane. Like, that for me was like the perfect goal for us. And I thought that's one way that we could play to sort of unlock these teams that are sitting back. Just not seeing that now, especially from Salah. I think out of the front three, the closest who's reaching, out of the front three who's putting in a decent enough performance at the moment is probably Mane. He's still doing what he's always good at. He's still a defender's nightmare. You know, he was turning Kyle Walker-Peters. He was doing a lot. He was trying, quote unquote.
You could tell his head. You could tell his head was hot yesterday. You know, when he got fouled and he got
definitely,
back up,
and he lashed out.
And just booted him. He's telling man with the passes there. I think the Salah thing as well. For me, I think the Trent thing, the Trent point that Fahi made is a very good point. That's such a telepathic communication, because you see when he bombs forward and those two link up, you saw Ox try and sub in because Trent's head went, and he played so within himself as soon as that goal went in. He just wasn't the same. You saw Ox trying to replicate so much that vim down that right hand side. It just wasn't coming up, and Salah didn't do that much to help him. But he was trying to make the exact same runs and do the exact same plays that he would if it was Trent on that side of the game. Just wasn't coming to fruition, and it's such an unsynchronized performance from him in the past few games, which is very alarming. Because he's not dropping it, he's not showing for anything, and then when he is getting the ball, he's being incredibly selfish with it. And if the shot opportunity isn't on, he'll defer to the closest player to him and say, "It's yours." At this point, which is very, very, very annoying.
I also have to say, like, not just to blame front three and to actually go to the way we play. I definitely feel like our over reliance on our fullbacks is definitely biting us in the arse. Like, it's like when you're a team and you know for sure, like, the 90% of the goals that this team is going to score is going to come from the fullbacks. I'm not going to say it's easy to stop, because obviously these are incredible players who are able to beat teams, and obviously that they're still top of the league at the moment until United play a game. But we need to we need to find more variety in the way we score goals. And I personally, and to defend Klopp a bit, to defend Klopp a lot, I personally think he's actually made that effort to actually like get a variety of the way, out of the way we play by signing players like Keita, signing players like Thiago, and introducing them into the squad. But unfortunately, these guys can't be relied upon. So you're going to have your Genies and your Oxes and your Hendos and even your Milners even like coming into play, because what are you going to do with Keita, who can't even give you 3 games in a row? And that's at your age, that's embarrassing. And Thiago, who, fair enough, he had a nasty injury at Everton, so I'm not going to get him too much. But this season, it's been evident like Klopp is trying to get a different way of playing, even a different way of getting the ball to the fullback so we can do our thing. So it's nuts, man. And I get that. And to that Q Annie guy like that just said, yeah, we're the top scorers in the Prem. Yeah, it's true. We are the top scorers in the Prem. That's very true. But our performances it's not reflective, man. Like I'm not in the majority of the season. I'm not enjoyed watching Liverpool play. I can think of about 5-6 games where I've genuinely enjoyed us watching us play, and that's pretty sad. That as a team that's supposed to be going for the league and that's supposed to be, sugar doors, it's pretty sad, man. Like, I can't lie.
If you are enjoying watching this live stream of Klopp and Fracas, then please do hit the like button and, of course, subscribe. And, of course, hit the alarm button for whenever we go live in the future as well. It's a mess at the moment. I think yesterday was kind of one of those ones for me where if Thiago has had what we would have expected, 15 games on his belt at this point, going to twine with the team, got the relationship going, and he's the engine in midfield we expect him to be, it's probably a bit of a different game. But when that relentless Southampton press came to him and he got that yellow card early on, he was like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. And it was mad. Because this is one of the best midfielders in the world. And he's there like, lad, I've got no idea what's going on here. So
yeah. I think the game got to him a bit, obviously, in the first half. They were hounding him and they were around him. And I think even Mike said, they had minimum 2 players on him whenever he collected the ball.
Minimum. They did a really good thing of just closing up any progressive passing lane that he had. And being the smart fella he is, he just played the safe option every single time.
Yeah, I just don't know why. I don't know why he was at the base though. I just think Klopp could have worked it a bit better.
He was just
6. Crowded out. He was just crowded out straight away.
He is a number 6, so I kind of get why he's there, but he will only be effective as number 6 when you have actual centre backs playing at centre back. So
yeah, so the 2 people that could have filled in that void would have been Henderson or Fab, who were in centre back. Didn't make sense.
Riddle me this. I've got a question. So against Crystal Palace, we had a player that started. He scored within the first 10 minutes, had his best game in a Liverpool shirt. He's not been seen since. He's fit and he's on the bench. Why is that?
So this is what I don't get either.
It's because he's better. he's better starting games than he's coming on in games.
And to be honest, I get the Minamino should be given a chance, but let's be honest, no, like Mane, let's be honest, no, we're in the business end of the season. We're going to play our trusted front 3, and yeah, they've been shit. But no, Minamino, you're not gonna play a must-win game at Southampton away.
Every game is must-win. No. Every game is must-win, man. So
every game is a must-win. Okay, every game is a must-win, which is even more credence to why he shouldn't be starting the game. Like against Crystal Palace, it was a must-win, but I'm not gonna say we got lucky, but we done well. Good, pat on the back for him. He done well, but I'm sorry, he should not be starting games. I personally thought that he should, if there's any game within this period that he would have started, or Klopp would have chopped and changed, would have been West Brom. But there is no way Minamino should be starting away at Southampton. That's crazy, fam.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't know there, Julian. I mean, as I keep saying in the group chat, I said the past week, there's nothing wrong with mixing it up. We stuck with the same static front 3 for the past 3 games. I just want to see some goals, man. I just want to see the ball hit the back of the net. I want to celebrate something, man.
Yeah,
gone back into lockdown.
Speaking of comb overs, Shaqiri played and he was crap.
So yeah, don't even get me started on him. I wasn't happy with my boy's performance. I wasn't happy at all.
Listen, we've criticised Klopp a lot, but one thing we can say yesterday is
he changed it early.
He changed it early. He put Shaq. He gave Shaq 30 odd minutes to do something. So you know
it's become massively evident that 4-2-3-1 is not going to be the option anytime soon as well. Because if it was, if he did want to overload, he could switch that formation fairly quickly. I mean, Q's literally just said it right now. Taki just got started ahead of Ox, which is fair, in all honesty, because I mean Ox was diabolical. With all due respect, and try and go back to the 4-2-3-1. I think
with all due respect.
With all due respect. I mean, yeah, it makes everything feel better. I just don't think it's become a viable option at this point. And it's a little bit shit, but we've got to find different ways and different avenues of breaking teams down. And it's even more difficult because we have literally no time on the training ground whatsoever.
I think the other problem is. Sorry, Julian. I just want to quickly add on the Minamino point. So obviously, you're saying that he played well against Palace, but that's Palace, so we should forget that. But ultimately, that sets bad precedent, especially for someone who's been at the club for a year now. He's trying to settle in. So if he plays well and he scores a goal, so what? He can't play the next game. So what does he have to do to start playing? How are we going to get his mojo going if even when he plays well and scores, he doesn't play? What does he do next? I don't really understand. All you're doing is you're going to make him regress again because the confidence he now has flattened again.
I've criticised Klopp's utilisation over the past 2 seasons of his bench and the players that he has available to him. But I must say, for me, Minamino cool. And again, I'm not downplaying his goal against Crystal Palace. Yeah, cool. You scored against Crystal Palace in a 7-0 win to get the ball rolling. I get that, but I personally don't think he has enough credit in the bank for Klopp to be like, you know what, cool. You scored against Crystal Palace, and you'll find your feet. But in these must-win games where Salah and Mane are fully fit, no one can tell me that they're not fully fit. They're just in really bad form. That he deserves, and Firmino, that he deserves to start over the 3. That's just me personally. And I personally feel like with Minamino, compared to Henderson, hindsight is a beautiful thing. Salah and Mane played shit. And we're saying, oh yeah, so Salah, Mane, and Firmino played shit, so Minamino should have started. I personally think this is a hindsight thing that we're personally because they played dead, Minamino should have got a chance, and because he scored 2 games ago, he definitely should be playing. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have played against West Brom though, at home in a comfy setting with the fans there, with us playing, supposedly being comfortable. Cool, maybe then. But away at Southampton, I'm personally not trying to hear it, to be honest.
But he hasn't even got any minutes though. He hasn't even did he even come on?
That's it. And I think the problem here is we're complaining about the front 3 and we're saying blah blah blah. They're not doing X, Y, Z. But now, what the hell do we do? Who do we resort to? Because obviously, we have literally just admitted, our manager has admitted that he doesn't trust Minamino. He's played well, and now he's not giving him any minutes for the past 3 games. So now what?
You know what the problem is? The drop off between Salah, Mane, and Firmino without Jota there is quite. It is. It's quite steep. So I definitely feel I can definitely empathise with Klopp in a must-win, and I get that you say that, every game is a must-win game, but in a must-win where Man United are putting pressure on you for the top of the league, I can definitely understand not starting Minamino, in my opinion. That's just me.
It was said by Jurgen Klopp that we will attack the title, and I feel very much feels like we're just defending the title at the moment. Title charge. How is everyone feeling at the moment in regards to us retaining this league?
Well, we're top of the table. So what? We've got all these problems. I've known for 53 minutes and we're top of the table. So what are we saying? We've got no centre back. We're top of the table. So now what? I'm happy.
I'm pretty like it's whatever, to be honest, because when Van Dijk and Gomez got injured, I was like, listen, this is top 4 and just pack it up. But we've managed to do well. Like with the title charge, and because of the mystique around how Liverpool operate and how we operate in the transfer window, we can honestly get 2 players added into the squad and have a guy go. Like, we don't know. So with the title charge, it honestly just depends on if Klopp is able to purchase a centre back and with due time, because you can't be doing this fucking shit where he's trying to purchase a centre back on the last day of the on the last day of the transfer window. Like,
it'll never happen.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. Like, buy the centre back when you need to buy a centre back. We are in dire need of a senior centre back. I get that you have this way of FSG also have this way of profiling the player and making sure he's the perfect fit for Liverpool. But fuck all of that. Scrap it. Buy a centre back that you know is going to be available, that you know is experienced enough to play in this defence, and we will see. I don't know about this title charge, to be honest. It's Man United's and Man City's to lose at this moment, in my personal opinion. Like, we've been chasing, and we've been fortunate enough to be chasing this title charge with the amount of injuries that we've had in different areas.
Yeah.
So we will see. Like, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah. And I just again, I want to say that based on the circumstances, we have done well. To even get to where we were, where we had a chance to go 6 points clear, we have done well. Obviously, the past 3 games have kind of flatlined that, but ultimately, if you would have told me after the Van Dijk and Gomez injury, and after Alisson got injured and Trent got injured, that, you know what, guys, first week of January, you're still going to be top, but, you know, it's going to be super tight behind you, I still would have taken that. So, yeah, I'm still optimistic because I'd rather have a bad run of form in January rather than later on down the line. This is the best time of the season to get that shit out of the way, get stuff sorted for end of Jan onwards, go on a massive run. We usually go on good runs from spring onwards anyway. So, I think this is the best time of the season to kind of get this shit out of the way, you know, sort whatever issues we have. And, in terms of our rivals, it's nice to see that people are barking up. People are, you know, pretending that, you know, they don't watch American sports anymore and they're back into football. And, you know, they're not just NBA and NFL fans. They actually watch football. They watch the Premier League, and, you know, they support Ollie's Reds. So it's nice to see, because a lot of my friends, you know, they used to go mute when United used to play, and now they're bang on it. And, you know, it's good to see, man. I like to see, like, the football community get together. And, you know, the hype, the Muga Mafia, the hype that they're giving us right now, we'll see next week what happens, really. I can't wait to see.
That's what I'm going to say. On the 17th, to all the Muga man that are listening to this podcast, on the 17th, bring your mash. Let's see
Muga Mafia.
Bring your burner, bring your mash, bring your flicky, whatever you want.
They're so excited. They're so excited, man.
And they want to tell us, we're just optimistic, brother.
That's the thing. So yeah, listen, they're not even saying. So half of them aren't even admitting they're in a title charge. They're just saying that they're appreciative of where they are. So they're not even willing to put their foot on the line and be like, "Yo, we're."
They've been doing this all season. They've been like, we want Ollie out, so we don't want to win this game. But then when they're winning, they're like, you see,
shout out 2 people. 2 people I can shout out. Timmy and Sebi, they did call it from early. Timmy called it from the start of the season. He said they're challenging for the title. That's cool. The rest of those wankers, they're a bunch of cowards.
They're just sitting on the fence, and they're not gonna. They haven't declared themselves in it.
Well, you know, we're just enjoying where we are. Wankers.
I think for me, Krish, on the title charge thing, obviously after 17, 18 games in, you don't win the league. But you can also put yourself out of the running, and we haven't done that yet. We're still there or thereabouts. Yeah. I think our recent form is just not good enough at the moment, and we should be knocking those teams over if we're going to really be serious about this title. So I think the sooner we buck up our ideas and start getting some wins on the board, the better for us. We got United, we got Tottenham, and we got City. I think in our next 7-8 games, you know, we need to beat them. We need to beat the rivals around us. I just don't know how we can break down these low block teams. It's just really frustrating me.
Bottom. So you do. You bottle them with good football.
Strange, man. Like how we're not breaking. It's actually strange. Like we faced the bottom 3 and we've got 1 point. Like it's 2 points or even it's
Fulham and Brighton as well. Fulham and Brighton.
It's not good. Well. It's these 3 games. It's the Palace game that's done us all in, because you've scored 7, and then we've sat there and you've gone, you know what? You get these games out of the way. You blitz them. They're wank. They're not going to do anything, and they give you some tough games. And they're sitting thinking, bloody hell, from where we were, at the Palace game, it's this not gone to plan. But I mean, they all need to. I mean, we've got Villa. I think it's on Friday. We've got Villa in the FA Cup. That's a distraction that a fair few of them could probably do with. They could do with fucking playing because they need to get some rhythm in and they need to play well. So if there is some first teamers playing that game, for some of the front three especially, they need to take it seriously because they need to get some fucking good.
Can I just say something now? I'm not trying to be negative, but we are going to lose against Villa in the FA Cup. Klopp doesn't want to be in that. Yeah.
He's throwing in that game. Adrian's going to be in goal. He's throwing the game.
As long as you guys know that, and no corn intended by anyone. Like you can laugh at us for losing in the third round of the FA Cup. I couldn't give a shit. But yeah, just expect another loss. It's not going to look good. It's going to look like 4 games we've not won a single game. So we're definitely going to lose that game. Is it on Friday?
I believe it's on Friday.
It can't be on Friday if we're playing on a Monday. If it is, then fucking hell, Klopp.
We're playing United next Sunday.
But still, like, fam, we played on Monday and you expect us to play on a Friday? Like, really?
Oh,
not
yeah,
on a Saturday?
Yeah, well, Friday, quarter to 8 kickoff.
Yeah.
No.
Whatever, man. Just play Nico Williams and even Milner at left back. I don't give a shit, man. Like,
bro, the FA don't care about us.
Do you know what's funny? I bet you we actually play some centre backs that game.
Yeah,
you probably will.
Reece Williams and Nat Phillips. Three at the back with Billy Cometia.
Yeah.
I mean, they all need to kind of have a sit down over these next few games, and they all need the swift kick up the arse, and they all need to sit there and go, you all know the job that's fucking in front of you. You know how good you are, and cut all this bullshit out with the bad body language and the bad attitudes about getting subbed off because you played fucking awful. And Trent, yes, that is going out to you as well because you do need a little bit of competition for your place because you've been a bit complacent. And just remember who the fuck you are, man. Remember who you are, what you've done in 2 years, and go out there and do it again. Because let's be realistic, 6-7 wins on the bounce from now probably wins this league.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And with the way Manchester City are playing, out of all the teams that are in this title race, because there's about 27 teams that are in it apparently, according to Sky, they seem to be the ones that are most likely to do it because they're quite putting together the 2-0s and the 3-0s that you need to win this league. But we just need to sit there and go, remember who the fuck you are, and get back to business and get back to grinding out results or blitzing out teams. Just get the fucking job done.
And also, Klopp needs to tell that to the fucking board as well. Like, he needs to sit down and be like, do you want to win this league or not? Just let me know or not. If not, then buy a fucking centre back because I'm just saying, I'm just prefacing this now. If you don't buy a centre back this January, we are not winning the league. We're not doing it, and it will be arrogant for us to think that we are. We're not going to win the league if we don't have another centre back. We can't continue to rely on Matip for about 2 or 3 games, and then for him to get injured or for him to need a rest because he's fucking injury prone, and then have Henderson at centre back or be chopping and changing between Phillips and Williams. Like, no, we need a centre back. It is imperative for us to buy a centre back if we want to challenge for this league. Champions League, I don't know. We can do that's not even a conversation right now because, to be honest, don't really give a shit about the Champions League if I'm honest. But we need a centre back if we're going to challenge for this league.
Completely agree. Sven Botman, come on down. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you joined us for the YouTube live today, we really appreciate it. Before you leave, do drop a like and subscribe to this channel. Of course, if you've liked what you've heard today and you want to get a little bit more Copy and Fracas content, then please do head over to our Patreon page. That is www.patreon.com/Copy and Fracas, and subscribe today from as little as £3 a month to a wealth of amazing content from us here at Copy and Fracas. But that has been your Copy and Fracas post-mortem podcast for January the 6th of... January the 6th. Bloody hell, I'm gone at that point. 2021, and we will see you next week.
Peace.